Chinese and Japanese Coast Guard and fishing vessels clash near disputed islands, accusing each other of violating sovereign waters. The fresh standoff adding fuel to an already heated diplomatic spat. Our conflicting accounts from China and Japan after the latest confrontation around the Senkaku or Hui Islands. China says a Japanese fishing boat illegally entered the waters and was expelled early this morning. But Japan's Coast Guard says it intercepted and expelled 2 Chinese Coast Guard vessels as they approached the Japanese fishing boat. The Japan-administered Senkaku Islands, known as Hui in China, have been a flashpoint for years. The standoff at sea close to 4 weeks after the eruption of a diplomatic spat over Japanese Prime Minister Si Hui's suggestion that Japan could take military action if China attacks Taiwan. A fallout from the dispute casting a shadow on livelihoods for some in China. From travelers to restaurant owners, CNA's Si Hui finds out how they are rethinking their plans.
For Kazuyuki Tanioka, this restaurant has been his pride and his life. The 52-year-old Japanese national has been serving omakase menus in Beijing for more than a decade. Diners used to book weeks in advance, but things have taken a sharp turn.
生意特别不好。我们10年前开的餐厅，最近10年，这个月生意最不好了。
This comes amid the latest diplomatic spat between China and Japan. Tensions flared after Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi suggested Chinese action on Taiwan could prompt a military response from Tokyo, comments that angered Beijing.
11月中到现在，好多客人预约取消了，大概15桌，一共60多个客户。 中国对那个日本的那个关系不太好嘛，好多中国人不要吃日餐。现在
Mr. Tanioka says this fallout has hit business harder than COVID. He just welcomed China lifting its 2-year ban on Japanese seafood imports in early November. Before reports emerged, they could be suspended again. The restaurant had already switched to Chinese and European seafood, but with fewer diners, high rent, and staff to pay, it may not be enough.
有可能明年我们关门，国家对国家的那关系是我们控制不了了，没办法。但是我觉得，美食和有钱不要分国境。
Some of Mr. Tanioka's Japanese friends are considering leaving China. He's thinking of doing the same and opening a restaurant in Tokyo instead, even if it means being apart from his wife, who is Chinese.
I've spoken to other Japanese outlets here in Beijing, and many declined to appear on camera due to heightened sensitivities. But what I can tell you is that this restaurant isn't the only one that's affected. Some have told me that bookings have plunged by as much as 70 to 80% since the latest diplomatic row began, although others say they've not noticed an impact to their business. And then there are some who say they've learned from previous times of tensions and they've diversified their seafood sources, importing from places like Spain and Canada.
The row has also seen Japanese films have their China releases postponed, concerts of Japanese musicians cancelled, and official exchanges put on hold.
中上旬去的京都。
Frequent traveler Yan Jun faced a dilemma when China warned citizens to avoid visiting Japan, also as Chinese airlines cut hundreds of Japan-bound flights this month.
如果你真的时间很 tight， 然后你有很多急事要办的话，你还是要把这些事情，最好做减法。
Still, she's going ahead with her trip.
我多方面的朋友，从日本回来的以及在日本的，他们都跟我，他们的第一口就是亲口告诉我还是安全的。
Analysts say China's response has been within its playbook. Chinese netizens and state media have hit out at Japan strongly, but offline reactions have not reached the intensity of 2012. Back then, anti-Japan protests were held in many Chinese cities over disputed islands in the East China Sea.
economies on both sides don't look the same as they did, 15 years ago. So the PRC is, not growing as fast. Now, the militaries also look very different. The PRC is far stronger now than it used to be. So, there are multiple calculations and also domestic concerns.
Beijing has demanded a retraction from Japan's premier, but with neither side backing down, analysts warn this spat could drag on, leaving ordinary people to navigate the uncertainty. Si Hui, CNA, Beijing.